Hello everyone and welcome to Cosmic Hunt X, the channel where we hunt for the secrets of the cosmos. In this video, we are going to explore our solar system and learn some amazing facts about each planet and other objects that orbit our sun. The solar system is a vast and complex system of planets, moons, asteroids, comets, and other celestial bodies that are bound by the gravity of our sun. The sun is the center of the solar system and accounts for more than 99% of its mass. The sun is also the source of light and heat for all the planets and other objects in the solar system. But how much do we really know about our solar system? How big is it? How old is it? How many planets are there? And what are their characteristics? In this video, we will answer these questions and more as we take a tour of our solar system and discover some fascinating facts along the way. But before we start, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos. Let's start with the moon, our closest neighbor in space. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite and has a diameter of 2,159 miles at its equator. That's a little more than 1/4 the diameter of Earth. The moon is also an average of about 238,000 miles from Earth. To put that into perspective, all the planets in the solar system can fit between the Earth and the moon. The moon has an elliptical orbit around Earth, which means that its distance can vary by about 26,000 miles. This makes the moon appear different sizes depending on where it is in its orbit. When the moon is closest to Earth, it looks bigger and brighter than when it is farthest from Earth. This phenomenon is called perigee syzygy or supermoon. Another interesting fact about the moon is that it rotates at nearly the same rate that it orbits Earth, so we only ever see one side of it. This is called tidal locking or synchronous rotation. The side of the moon that faces Earth is called the near side, while the side that faces away from Earth is called the far side. The far side of the moon is sometimes mistakenly called the dark side, but it actually receives as much sunlight as the near side. The moon has a significant impact on Earth's tides, seasons, climate, and life. The moon stabilizes Earth's axial tilt, which prevents extreme changes in temperature and weather. The moon also creates tides by pulling on Earth's oceans with its gravity. The tides affect marine life, coastal erosion, navigation, fishing, and surfing. The moon has been visited by humans 12 times between 1969 and 1972 as part of NASA's Apollo program. The first human to walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong on July 20, 1969. He was followed by Buzz Aldrin, who famously said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The last human to walk on the moon was Eugene Cernan on December 14, 1972. He was followed by Harrison Schmitt, who was also the first geologist to explore another world. The moon is not only a natural satellite, but also a natural museum. The moon preserves the history of the solar system in its rocks, craters, and dust. The moon has no atmosphere, no plate tectonics, and no volcanic activity, which means that its surface is largely unchanged since its formation 4.5 billion years ago. The moon's surface is covered with craters of various sizes and ages, which are the scars of impacts from asteroids, comets, and meteorites. The moon's surface is also covered with a thin layer of dust called regolith, which is composed of fine particles of rock and minerals. The moon is a fascinating and beautiful object that we can see almost every night in the sky, but it is not the only object that orbits our sun. There are 8 other planets in our solar system, each with its own unique features and characteristics. Let's move on to the first planet from the sun, Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system, with a diameter of only 3,032 miles. That's just 873 miles bigger than the moon. Mercury is also the planet with the lowest mass, weighing only 364 quintillion tons. That's about 5% of Earth's mass. Mercury is the fastest planet in our solar system, orbiting the sun at an average speed of 107,000 miles per hour. That's more than 4 times faster than Earth. Mercury completes one orbit around the sun in about 88 days, which is the shortest orbital period of any planet. However, Mercury's rotation around its axis is very slow, taking about 59 days to complete one spin. This means that one day on Mercury lasts for 2/3 of its year. Mercury is one of the 4 terrestrial planets in our solar system, along with Venus, Earth, and Mars. These are the planets that have solid surfaces made of rock and metal. Mercury has a dense iron core that makes up about 85% of its radius. Mercury also has a thin crust and mantle that are mostly composed of silicate minerals. Mercury is the only other terrestrial planet besides Earth to have a global magnetic field. However, Mercury's magnetic field is much weaker than Earth, being only about 1% as strong. Scientists think that Mercury's magnetic field is generated by electric currents in its molten iron core. Mercury has no atmosphere to speak of, which means that it has no weather, no wind, no clouds, and no air pressure. This also means that Mercury has no protection from the sun's radiation and solar wind, which constantly bombard its surface with charged particles and high-energy photons. Mercury's surface temperature varies dramatically depending on its location and time of day. On the side facing the sun, Mercury can reach temperatures of up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt lead. On the side facing away from the sun, Mercury can drop to temperatures of down to minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cold enough to freeze carbon dioxide. This makes Mercury the planet with the largest temperature range in our solar system. Mercury has no moons, but it does have some interesting features on its surface. One of them is Colorus Basin, a giant impact crater that measures about 950 miles across. It was formed by a collision with a large asteroid or comet about 3.8 billion years ago. The impact was so powerful that it created shock waves that traveled across the planet and formed another crater on the opposite side called chaotic terrain. Another feature on Mercury's surface is its scarps or cliffs. These are long and steep ridges that can reach up to a mile high and hundreds of miles long. They were formed by the contraction and wrinkling of Mercury's crust as it cooled and shrank over time. Mercury is a small but fast planet that orbits close to the Sun. It has a harsh and extreme environment that challenges our understanding of planetary formation and evolution. It is also a difficult planet to explore due to its high temperature, low gravity, and strong solar radiation. Only 2 spacecraft have visited Mercury so far: Mariner 10 in 1974 to 1975 and Messenger in 2008 to 2015. Both missions provided valuable data and images of Mercury's surface, structure, composition, magnetism, and exosphere. The next planet from the Sun is Venus, which is often called Earth's twin sister because of their similar size and mass. Venus has a diameter of 7,521 miles, which is just 405 miles smaller than Earth. Venus also has a mass of about 4.9 times 10 to the power of 24 kg, which is about 82% of Earth's mass. However, despite their similarities in size and mass, Venus and Earth are very different planets in many ways. Venus is the second planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 67 million miles. Venus takes about 225 days to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is the longest orbital period of any terrestrial planet. However, Venus rotates very slowly around its axis, taking about 243 days to complete one spin. This means that one day on Venus is longer than 1 year on Venus. Venus is also the only planet that spins backwards, or retrograde, compared to the other planets. While most planets spin in the same direction as they orbit the Sun, Venus spins in the opposite direction. Venus is the brightest planet in the night sky and is often called the morning star, or the evening star, because it can be seen near the horizon before sunrise or after sunset. In fact, Venus is so bright that it can cast shadows on Earth on a clear night with no moonlight. Venus is also the third brightest object in the sky, after the Sun and the Moon. Venus is sometimes called Earth's sister planet because of their similar size and mass, but it is more like Earth's evil twin because of its hostile environment. Venus has a thick atmosphere that is composed mostly of carbon dioxide and a small amount of nitrogen. The atmosphere creates a runaway greenhouse effect that traps heat and makes Venus the hottest planet in our solar system. The average temperature on Venus is about 860 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt lead and zinc. Venus also has a very high atmospheric pressure that is about 92 times greater than Earth's at sea level. This means that standing on Venus would feel like being under a mile of water on Earth. The high pressure also makes Venus's atmosphere very dense and heavy, which causes it to move faster than the planet's rotation. This creates strong winds that can reach up to 220 miles per hour at the cloud tops. Venus has no moons, but it does have some interesting features on its surface. One of them is Maxwell Montes, the highest mountain on Venus that measures about 7 miles high. It is named after James Clerk Maxwell, the Scottish physicist who formulated the theory of electromagnetism. Maxwell Montes is located near the North Pole of Venus and is part of a mountain range called Ishtartera. It is a beautiful but deadly planet that challenges our understanding of planetary climate and geology. It is also a difficult planet to explore due to its high temperature, high pressure, and corrosive atmosphere. Only a few spacecraft have visited Venus so far: Mariner 2 in 1962, Venera 4-16 in 1967 to 1983, Pioneer Venus in 1978 to 1992, Magellan in 1990 to 1994, Venus Express in 2006 to 2014, and Akatsuki in 2015 present. These missions provided valuable data and images of Venus's atmosphere, surface, structure, composition, magnetism, and volcanism. A future mission called Veritas, Venus Emissivity, Radio Science, in SAR, Topography, and Spectroscopy, was selected by NASA in 2020 and is expected to launch in 2028 to 2030. It will carry an orbiter that will map Venus's surface with high resolution and study its geology and history. The next planet from the Sun is Earth, our home planet and the only one known to support life in our solar system. Earth has a diameter of 7,926 miles, which is the largest of the 4 terrestrial planets. Earth also has a mass of about 5.97 times 10 to the power of 24 kg, which is the largest of all the planets except for the gas giants. Earth is the 3rd planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 93 million miles. Earth takes about 365 days to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is the basis of our calendar year. Earth also rotates around its axis once every 24 hours, which is the basis of our day and night cycle. Earth is the only planet in our solar system that has liquid water on its surface, which covers about 71% of its area. Water is essential for life as we know it, and Earth is home to a rich and diverse biosphere that includes millions of species of plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, and other organisms. Earth's water cycle regulates its climate and weather, creating precipitation, evaporation, condensation, and transpiration. Earth has a thin layer of gas called the atmosphere that surrounds its surface and protects it from harmful radiation and meteorites. The atmosphere is composed mostly of nitrogen and oxygen, with traces of other gases such as argon, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and ozone. The atmosphere also contains clouds, dust, pollen, smoke, and pollutants that affect its visibility and quality. Earth has a complex and dynamic interior that consists of 4 main layers: the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. The crust is the outermost layer that forms the surface of Earth. It is divided into several tectonic plates that move slowly over time due to convection currents in the mantle. The mantle is the thickest layer that lies below the crust and makes up about 84% of Earth's volume. It is composed of hot and solid rock that flows like a thick liquid. The outer core is the second innermost layer that lies below the mantle and makes up about 15% of Earth's volume. It is composed of molten iron and nickel that generate Earth's magnetic field. The inner core is the innermost layer that lies at the center of Earth and makes up about 1% of Earth's volume. It is composed of solid iron and nickel that are under immense pressure and temperature. Earth has one natural satellite called the Moon, which we have already discussed earlier in this video. Earth also has thousands of artificial satellites that orbit around it for various purposes such as communication, navigation, observation, exploration, and research. Some of the most famous artificial satellites include the International Space Station, ISS, the Hubble Space Telescope, HST, and the Global Positioning System, GPS. Earth is a beautiful and unique planet that supports life and civilization in our solar system. It is also a fragile and vulnerable planet that faces many challenges such as climate change, pollution, overpopulation, deforestation, biodiversity loss, natural disasters, wars, diseases, and poverty. It is our responsibility as humans to protect and preserve our planet for ourselves and future generations. The next planet from the Sun is Mars, which is often called the red planet because of its reddish color due to iron oxide in its soil. Mars has a diameter of 4,221 miles, which is about half the size of Earth. Mars also has a mass of about 6.4 times 10 to the power of 23 kg, which is about 11% of Earth's mass. Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 142 million miles. Mars takes about 687 days to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is almost twice as long as Earth's year. Mars also rotates around its axis once every 24 hours and 37 minutes, which is very similar to Earth's day length. Mars is one of the 4 terrestrial planets in our solar system, along with Mercury, Venus, and Earth. Mars has a thin atmosphere that is composed mostly of carbon dioxide, with traces of nitrogen, argon, oxygen, water vapor, and other gases. The atmosphere creates a weak greenhouse effect that keeps Mars warmer than it would be otherwise, but still much colder than Earth. Mars has an average temperature of -85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is much colder than Earth's average temperature of 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Mars also has a large temperature range, varying from -195 degrees Fahrenheit at the poles in winter to 70 degrees Fahrenheit at the equator in summer. Mars has 2 small and irregular moons called Phobos and Deimos, which are named after the Greek gods of fear and terror. Phobos is the larger and closer moon, with a diameter of about 14 miles and an orbital distance of about 3,700 miles. Deimos is the smaller and farther moon, with a diameter of about 8 miles and an orbital distance of about 12,000 miles. Both moons are thought to be captured asteroids that were pulled into Mars's orbit by its gravity. Mars has some interesting features on its surface, such as volcanoes, canyons, craters, and polar caps. One of them is Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system, which measures about 374 miles across and 16 miles high. It is 3 times taller than Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, and has a base as large as the state of Arizona. Olympus Mons is located near the equator of Mars and is part of a volcanic region called Tharsis. Another feature on Mars's surface is Valles Marineris, the largest canyon in the solar system, which stretches for about 2,500 miles along the equator of Mars. It is long enough to span across the entire continental US and is nearly 4 times deeper than the Grand Canyon on Earth. Valles Marineris was formed by the cracking and collapsing of the crust due to tectonic and volcanic activity. Mars also has 2 polar caps that are composed of ice and dust. The northern polar cap is larger and smoother than the southern polar cap, which has more craters and valleys. The polar caps grow and shrink with the seasons, as carbon dioxide ice sublimates and condenses depending on the temperature. Mars is a planet that has captured our imagination and curiosity for centuries. It is also a planet that has been explored by many spacecraft and rovers over the years. Some of the most famous missions to Mars include Viking 1 and 2 in 1976 to 1982, Pathfinder and Sojourner in 1997 to 1998, Spirit and Opportunity in 2004 to 2010 and 2004 to 2018, Phoenix in 2008, Curiosity in 2012 present, Insight in 2018 present, Perseverance and Ingenuity in 2021 present. These missions have provided valuable data and images of Mars's atmosphere, surface, structure, composition, geology, climate, history, and potential for life. Mars is also a planet that has been considered as a possible destination for human exploration and colonization in the future. Many scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and enthusiasts have proposed various plans and projects to send humans to Mars and establish a permanent presence there. Some of the most notable ones include NASA's Mars Exploration Program, MEP, SpaceX's Starship and Starlink systems, Mars One's one-way mission concept, and the Mars Society's Mars Direct proposal. Mars is a planet that offers many challenges and opportunities for scientific discovery and human adventure. It is also a planet that inspires us to dream big and explore beyond our horizons. The next planet from the Sun is Jupiter, which is the largest and most massive planet in our solar system. Jupiter has a diameter of 88,846 miles, which is more than 11 times larger than Earth. Jupiter also has a mass of about 1.9 times 10 to the power of 27 kg, which is more than 300 times greater than Earth. Jupiter is the 5th planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 484 million miles. Jupiter takes about 12 years to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is the longest orbital period of any planet except for Saturn. Jupiter also rotates very fast around its axis, taking only about 10 hours to complete one spin. This means that one day on Jupiter is the shortest of any planet. Jupiter is the first of the 4 gas planets in our solar system, along with Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These are the planets that have no solid surface and are mostly composed of hydrogen and helium. Jupiter has a thick atmosphere that is divided into several bands of clouds that vary in color and speed. The clouds are made of ammonia crystals and possibly ammonium hydrosulfide and water. Jupiter is best known for its Great Red Spot, a giant storm that has been raging for at least 300 years. The Great Red Spot is about 10,000 miles wide and 3,000 miles high, which means that it could fit 3 Earths inside it. The storm rotates counterclockwise and has wind speeds of up to 400 miles per hour. The storm is also very hot, reaching temperatures of up to 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit. Jupiter has a powerful magnetic field that is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth. The magnetic field is generated by electric currents in Jupiter's metallic hydrogen layer, which acts like a liquid dynamo. The magnetic field interacts with the solar wind and creates a huge region of charged particles called the magnetosphere. The magnetosphere extends for millions of miles around Jupiter and protects it from the sun's radiation. Jupiter has at least 79 moons, which is the highest number of natural satellites of any planet except for Saturn. Some of the most famous moons include Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Io is the most volcanically active object in the solar system, with hundreds of volcanoes that spew sulfur and lava. Europa is covered with a thick layer of ice that may hide a global ocean of liquid water beneath it. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, bigger than Mercury and Pluto. Callisto is the most heavily cratered object in the solar system, with a surface that dates back to 4 billion years ago. Jupiter also has a faint ring system that consists of 4 main rings: the main ring, the halo, the Amalthea-Gossamer ring, and the Thebe-Gossamer ring. The rings are composed of dust and debris from Jupiter's inner moons. The rings are very thin and dark, and can only be seen from certain angles. Jupiter is a huge and majestic planet that dominates our solar system with its size and mass. It is also a planet that has been explored by many spacecraft over the years. Some of the most famous missions to Jupiter include Pioneer 10 and 11 in 1973 to 1974, Voyager 1 and 2 in 1979, Galileo in 1995 to 2003, Cassini in 2000 to 2001, New Horizons in 2007, Juno in 2016 present, and Europa Clipper in 2024 to 2030. These missions have provided valuable data and images of Jupiter's atmosphere, structure, composition, magnetism, weather, storms, moons, rings, and auroras. Jupiter is also a planet that has been considered as a possible destination for human exploration in the future. However, Jupiter poses many challenges and risks for humans due to its high gravity, high radiation, high pressure, high temperature, and lack of solid surface. It is unlikely that humans will ever land on Jupiter itself, but they may be able to visit some of its moons or orbit around it. Jupiter is a planet that offers many wonders and mysteries for scientific discovery and human imagination. It is also a planet that inspires us to marvel at the beauty and diversity of our solar system. The next planet from the Sun is Saturn, which is the second largest and second most massive planet in our solar system. Saturn has a diameter of 74,897 miles, which is about 9 times larger than Earth's. Saturn also has a mass of about 5.7 times 10 to the power of 26 kg, which is about 95 times greater than Earth's. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 890 million miles. Saturn takes about 29 years to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is the longest orbital period of any planet except for Uranus and Neptune. Saturn also rotates very fast around its axis, taking only about 10 hours and 33 minutes to complete one spin. This means that one day on Saturn is almost as short as one day on Jupiter. Saturn is the second of the 4 gas planets in our solar system, along with Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. These are the planets that have no solid surface and are mostly composed of hydrogen and helium. Saturn has a thick atmosphere that is divided into several bands of clouds that vary in color and speed. The clouds are made of ammonia crystals and possibly ammonium hydrosulfide and water. Saturn is best known for its spectacular ring system, which is the most prominent and complex of any planet in our solar system. The rings are composed of billions of objects ranging in size from a grain of sand to a mountain. The rings are divided into several main sections: the A ring, the B ring, the C ring, the D ring, the E ring, the F ring, and the G ring. The rings are also separated by gaps called divisions or resonances, such as the Cassini division and the Encke gap. The rings are very thin and flat, with an average thickness of only about 30 feet and a diameter of about 170,000 miles. The rings are also very bright, reflecting up to 80% of the sunlight that falls on them. The rings are made of mostly ice, with traces of rock and dust. The rings are constantly shaped and maintained by the gravity of Saturn and its moons. Saturn has at least 82 moons, which is the highest number of natural satellites of any planet in our solar system. Some of the most famous moons include Titan, Enceladus, Mimas, Tethys, Dione, Rhea, Iapetus, and Phoebe. Titan is the largest moon of Saturn and the second largest moon in the solar system, bigger than Mercury and Pluto. Titan is also the only moon in our solar system that has a thick atmosphere that is composed mostly of nitrogen and methane. Titan also has lakes and rivers of liquid hydrocarbons such as ethane and propane on its surface. Enceladus is one of the most geologically active moons in our solar system, with hundreds of geysers that spew water vapor and ice particles from its south polar region. Enceladus also has a global ocean of liquid water beneath its icy crust that may harbor life. Mimas is one of the smallest moons of Saturn, with a diameter of only 246 miles. Mimas has a huge impact crater called Herschel that measures about 81 miles across and 6 miles deep. The crater makes Mimas look like the Death Star from Star Wars. Saturn is a magnificent and complex planet that dazzles our solar system with its size and rings. It is also a planet that has been explored by many spacecraft over the years. Some of the most famous missions to Saturn include Pioneer 11 in 1979, Voyager 1 and 2 in 1980 to 1981, Cassini-Huygens in 2004 to 2017, and New Horizons in 2007. These missions have provided valuable data and images of Saturn's atmosphere, structure, composition, magnetism, weather, storms, rings, moons, and Titan's surface and atmosphere. Saturn is also a planet that has been considered as a possible destination for human exploration in the future. However, Saturn poses many challenges and risks for humans due to its high gravity, high radiation, high pressure, high temperature, and lack of solid surface. It is unlikely that humans will ever land on Saturn itself, but they may be able to visit some of its moons or orbit around it. Saturn is a planet that offers many wonders and mysteries for scientific discovery and human imagination. It is also a planet that inspires us to admire the beauty and diversity of our solar system. The next planet from the Sun is Uranus, which is the third largest and third most massive planet in our solar system. Uranus has a diameter of 31,763 miles, which is about 4 times larger than Earth's. Uranus also has a mass of about 8.7 times 10 to the power of 25 kg, which is about 14 times greater than Earth's. Uranus is the 7th planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 1.8 billion miles. Uranus takes about 84 years to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is the longest orbital period of any planet except for Neptune. Uranus also rotates very fast around its axis, taking only about 17 hours and 14 minutes to complete one spin. This means that one day on Uranus is shorter than one day on Earth. Uranus is the third of the 4 gas planets in our solar system, along with Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. These are the planets that have no solid surface and are mostly composed of hydrogen and helium. Uranus has a thick atmosphere that is divided into several layers of clouds that vary in color and speed. The clouds are made of methane, ammonia, water, and hydrogen sulfide. Uranus is unique among the planets in our solar system because it has a very extreme axial tilt of about 98 degrees. This means that Uranus spins on its side, with its poles pointing almost directly at the Sun. This causes Uranus to have very unusual seasons, with each pole facing the Sun for about 21 years, followed by 21 years of darkness. This also causes Uranus to have very extreme weather, with storms, winds, and temperature changes. Uranus has a weak magnetic field that is about 50 times stronger than Earth's. The magnetic field is generated by electric currents in Uranus's icy mantle, which acts like a liquid dynamo. The magnetic field is also very tilted and offset from the planet's center, which causes it to wobble and vary in strength and direction. Uranus has at least 27 moons, which are named after characters from Shakespeare's plays and Alexander Pope's poems. Some of the most famous moons include Titania, Oberon, Umbriel, Ariel, and Miranda. Titania is the largest moon of Uranus and the 8th largest moon in the solar system, with a diameter of about 981 miles. Titania has a rocky core and an icy crust that is covered with craters, canyons, and faults. Oberon is the 2nd largest moon of Uranus and the 9th largest moon in the solar system, with a diameter of about 946 miles. Oberon has a similar composition to Titania, but has a darker and more reddish surface that is covered with craters and mountains. In the past, Uranus also has a faint ring system that consists of 13 main rings: the Zeta ring, the 6 ring, the 5 ring, the 4 ring, the Alpha ring, the Beta ring, the Eta ring, the Gamma ring, the Delta ring, the Lambda ring, the Epsilon ring, the Nu ring, and the Mu ring. The rings are composed of dust and debris from Uranus's inner moons. The rings are very thin and dark, and can only be seen from certain angles. Uranus is a unique and mysterious planet that surprises our solar system with its extreme tilt and seasons. It is also a planet that has been explored by only one spacecraft so far, Voyager 2 in 1986. The mission provided valuable data and images of Uranus's atmosphere, structure, composition, magnetism, weather, storms, rings, and moons. Uranus is also a planet that has been considered as a possible destination for human exploration in the future. However, Uranus poses many challenges and risks for humans due to its high gravity, high radiation, high pressure, high temperature, and lack of solid surface. It is unlikely that humans will ever land on Uranus itself, but they may be able to visit some of its moons or orbit around it. Uranus is a planet that offers many wonders and mysteries for scientific discovery and human imagination. It is also a planet that inspires us to appreciate the beauty and diversity of our solar system. The next and last planet from the Sun is Neptune, which is the fourth largest and fourth most massive planet in our solar system. Neptune has a diameter of 30,775 miles, which is about 4 times larger than Earth. Neptune also has a mass of about 1.02 times 10 to the power of 26 kg, which is about 17 times greater than Earth's. Neptune is the 8th and farthest planet from the Sun and orbits at an average distance of about 2.8 billion miles. Neptune takes about 165 years to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is the longest orbital period of any planet in our solar system. Neptune, also along with Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. These are the planets that have no solid surface and are mostly composed of hydrogen. Field is generated by electric currents in Neptune's icy mantle, which acts like a liquid dynamo. The magnetic field is also very tilted and offset from the planet's center, which causes it to wobble and vary in strength and direction. Neptune has at least 14 moons, which are named after sea gods and nymphs from Greek and Roman mythology. Some of the most famous moons include Triton, Nereid, Proteus, Larissa, and also has a faint ring system that consists of 5 main rings: the Gao ring, the Leverrier ring, the Lassell ring, the Arago ring, and the Adams ring. The rings are composed of dust and debris from Neptune's inner moons. The rings are very thin and dark, and can only be seen from certain angles. Neptune is a beautiful and mysterious planet that enchants our solar system with its blue color and storms. It is also a planet moons. Neptune is also a planet that has been considered as a possible destination for human exploration in the future. However, Neptune poses many challenges and risks for humans due to its high gravity, high radiation, high pressure, high temperature, and lack of solid surface. We have now reached the end of our tour of our solar system. We have learned some amazing facts about each planet and other objects that orbit our Sun. We have also seen some stunning images and videos of their atmospheres, surfaces, structures, compositions, magnetisms, weathers, storms, rings, and moons. But our solar system is not the only one in the universe. There are billions of other stars in our galaxy that have their own planetary system, and there are billions of other galaxies in the universe that have their own stars and planets. Some of these planets may be similar to ours, while others may be very different. Some of these planets may even harbor life forms that we can't even imagine. Our solar system is a vast and complex system of wonders and mysteries that we are still exploring and learning about. It is also our home and our origin that we should cherish and protect. It is also our gateway and our inspiration to explore the rest of the cosmos. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel Cosmic Hunt X and hit the bell icon to get notified of our future videos.